What is up, gamers? How you all doing? My name is Regen, and today I'm going to be bringing you the first episode in a series that I'll be calling MW3 Tips and Tricks. So let's get started. In today's episode, I am going to be talking to you about how to get better gameplay in MW3. So this is quite a popular topic. Most people obviously want to get better KDs, better gameplays, so they can post it. So the first tip I'm going to give you is set up your class on something that you play well with. If you haven't used Specialist before, don't use it. It's good for getting MOABs, but if you haven't tried it before, it's going to be really disappointing, the scores you're going to be getting, because you're not going to be getting any air support, any support in general, no UAVs, no nothing, no ballistic vests, just you and some perks. So if you haven't used that before, I would not recommend it. Although if you have, definitely keep that on. That is quite good. Although in today's gameplay, which is 35-1 on Outpost, I was using Assault. I was using the Predator Missile, the Reaper, and the Pave Low. And if you haven't used the Pave Low or the Reaper yet, I highly recommend that. That is one of the best setups you can use. The Reaper is very, very overpowered. You can take out a lot of enemies with one bullet, and it's controlled all the way, so you know exactly where it's going to be. And the Pave Low takes a long time to shoot down, and it has high bullet damage. So yeah, if you don't know what to use, I suggest using those. But onto class setup. I recommend the ACR or the MP7, the PP90. Any gun really is, as people know, overpowered. The ACR is my favourite of those, because it's versatile. You can use it at short range, as you see there, and you can also use it at quite long distance as well, picking people off quite easily. This gameplay, I wasn't using Sleight of Hand, or actually I was using Sleight of Hand, sorry, I wasn't using Scavenger. So I had to pick up someone else's weapon halfway through, but that didn't work out too bad. So yeah, back onto the topic, class setup. Yeah, basically just follow those tips I've given you. Predator, Reaper, as you see I'm picking up my Reaper just there. Predator, Reaper, and Pave Low, and use a gun that is, it sounds newbie, but use a gun that's overpowered. It's no use using the AA-12, because I think that's underpowered now. AA-12, the Model 1887, or maybe the FAD, I think, is not very good damage. Don't use those, because you're just going to you're going to lose most of your 1v1 fights, unless, obviously, the enemy is a potato and they don't know what they're doing. So, class setup, yeah, that's done. Tip 2 I'm going to give to you would be, know the maps. This is an obvious one. Tip 2, know the maps. If you don't know where you're going, or where people are most likely going to be, you're not going to be getting those high-end kill streaks like the Pave Low or the Osprey gunners. You'll be lucky if you get a Predator Missile even, because you don't know where they're going to be. You've got no idea. So I highly recommend getting into a private match if you're new to the game, just playing with a friend, just learning the maps, basically just getting to know where people run. Well, you want to do that in a public match, actually. A private match, just look around the maps. Because some of the maps, I've found that it's quite, oh, what's the word? They're quite picky. People, they don't, when you get Dome, or when you get Arcadin in a lobby, people don't pick Outpost, or Carbon over them. They're always going to pick Dome. It's quite a popular map in this game. But if you get a chance, play one of the less played maps, because you're going to be better than people who haven't played it before, and that's going to be able to get you those good kill streaks, and basically, in turn, getting you better gameplay. Now, the third and final tip I'm going to give to you today is pretty general. It's improving your aim. Now, you can improve your aim in lots of ways. If you're just sitting there and you waste an entire light machine gun clip on one person, one of three things is happening. The person is using health packs, you're shooting through 10 walls, or the third and most likely option is your aim is horrible. So you need to fix that. Scope in on the guy, make sure you're targeting him, because as soon as you shoot, unless you're using a suppressor, as soon as you shoot, you're going to be painted on their mini-map, they're going to turn around, and if you have bad aim, which you probably do, they're going to be easily able to kill you, and that is going to ruin your kill streaks, and basically ruin the gameplay you're getting. So, do that, improve your aim. You can also, this is just additional, you can drop shot, but if you want to drop shot, I highly recommend turning your button layout or stick layout or whatever to tactical, because that means changing from prone is now on your aiming analog stick, so you can keep aiming without having to change buttons to go prone. And B is now the knife button, so it's easier to knife people who are running past you than having to look at them and then knife them, because they're both on the analog stick. So change it to tactical. And the final thing you can do to improve your aim is put a red dot on it. I'm using a red dot here on my ACR. I'm also using a silencer because I don't want to be on the map. So I'm using a red dot. And one thing I did wrong here was I put one of those stupid custom red dot things that you unlock when you level up. They're useless. The simple red dot sight is the best one you can get. Trust me on this. Don't put on like Delta or Omega. They're like, oh, it's unlocked to level 30, it must be good. It's worse, trust me. It is worse than the standard red dot. Because with all those, all the red dot, apparently, all the red dots take up more space on your sight. With the simple red dot, there's just one dot there, and you can see all around. So it's easier to see the people you're shooting at, and you get better aim, because there's the one spot they're going to be shooting. In this one, I'm not following that tip, I'm using something else. But I'm usually swapping weapons for other people's eventually anyway. So those tips, follow those, and well, they work for me. Those are the tips I'm going to give to you to help you improve your Modern Warfare 3 game and help you get better kill-death ratios, better games. And so the gameplay is just about finished here. I end up going 35-1 on Outpost, which isn't bad. It's a 35 KD obviously, so I was pretty happy with that. I get the final kill with my Pave Low, and thanks for watching guys. See you in the next episode.